We're back for another episode of the Giants Huddle podcast brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Football Giants. We continue our position series, interviews with Giants players at different positions throughout the roster. This week, we're going to take a look at the running back position and lead off with Devin Singletary, the man they call Motor. All right, now we're joined by Devin Singletary, Giants running back. Motor, what's going on, man? How are you?
Man, I'm doing well. How you doing today?
So I've been asking everybody, what is it like learning this system? What has the offseason been like? This is like old hat for you, man. You were in this system already. Like, are you? I'm not saying you're sitting back and relaxing, but are you kind of like, all right, this is like a nice, warm, comfortable blanket that I've like worn before, and it's kind of nice to be back.
Yeah, it's something like that. Obviously, some things have changed. But for the most part, it's been like refreshing my memory. So, it's been fun. It's been fun to be back in the offense.
It's funny. I want to ask you that actually because, Mike Kafka is here as the offensive coordinator. He comes from a very different system in Kansas City, right, with Andy Reid. How much new stuff did you see that's in here that maybe wasn't in here when you were with Dave's in Buffalo?
It's been a decent amount, to be honest. But like I said, it's been smooth. Like,
nice.
Getting back into the offense and learning everything.
What's been the most challenging thing for you about being in New York, big city, and just trying to figure out how things are going to work here in a whole new building? Mechanics are different, all that sort of stuff.
Man, probably the most challenging thing was traffic and finding a home. But other than that, it's been smooth. Yeah, that's probably been the most difficult thing.
What do you think of the running back room and your running backs coach?
Yeah, the running back room, we're young, but I think we got guys that's willing to learn and ready to work. So with that, the sky's the limit for us. I'm the vet now, which it feels funny to say.
Is that weird for you? Being the vet?
It is. I feel like this is the first time I've been the oldest guy in the room, like I said, I'm looking forward to this year. Coach JT, man, he been around, so I knew him like coming out in the combine. So it's I don't want to say we're reuniting, but I knew him. It's a familiar face. He knows ball. He brings great energy. So I'm looking forward to this season with him and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. JT running backs coach Joel Thomas. You talk about the youth in the room, right? Let's talk about a couple of those young guys, Eric Gray and Tyrone Tracy. How are they kind of coming along in your eyes and learning the stuff that running backs have to learn to get on the field, like pass protection, assignments, being in the right place, things like that?
Yeah, I think they're headed in the right direction. I don't think none of us are perfect, but it's always room for improvement. But man, from what I've seen, they've been doing well, and this year's gonna be fun for us.
Tyrone Tracy seems like a pretty unique guy. He was playing wide receiver, he only 1 year at running back in college, and everyone I've talked to said he's been pretty sharp in terms of picking things up.
Yeah, he has been. He's been picking it up quickly. That's not always easy to do, especially
it's very tough.
Especially when you haven't played running back that much, and then making the jump from college to the pros. Man, he been doing well. He's been doing well.
What is it about this group together on offense, the wide receiver weapons, the quarterbacks, the running backs, that makes you think that this unit can be really special this year?
Man, we got weapons across the board. Playmakers. And, guys, we've been gelling together, coming together over this offseason. And I think the bond is only going to grow as the season goes on. When you go through things, you get closer with guys. So, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Now, you've been with two extremely talented quarterbacks in your career, right? And very different ones. C.J. Stroud, very different than Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Josh Allen is basically like a physical freak. That guy can do anything he wants to.
Yeah.
And then C.J. Stroud as a rookie was fantastic. You've caught passes and worked with Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock, and Daniel's done 7-on-7. What do you think about the quarterback room that you have here with the Giants?
Yeah, I think we have a good quarterback room. Like you said, I had the opportunity to play with two of the best in the league right now. And from what I've seen with our guys, we got a chance. That's all you can ask for in this league. Danny Dimes is, he's making his way back. He's been looking good, and Vito and Locke been making plays all offseason. So, man, like I said, it's gonna be fun this season.
When you're seeing Daniel close up, a lot of the guys that come here, or even people that work and cover the team, they're like, I didn't realize Daniel was that good an athlete until I saw him close up, really run and do stuff. Like some of the physical stuff with him, now that you're up close, did some of that stuff like, oh wow, this guy's like pretty gifted.
Man, I'm a football head, so I watch a lot of football. So it been jumped off to me like what he can do, like as far as him being athletic.
Yeah.
What really, I would say, like I'm like when I got here, when I saw him throw the ball, like his touch and his accuracy, I'm like, all right, now this is why they call him, you know, Danny Dimes. You know, that's what really stood out to me. Yeah.
Good stuff. Hey, Motor, it's been fun watching you, and we'll see you back for training camp, right?
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you for having me, man.
Appreciate it. And now we're joined by Giants second-year running back, Eric Gray. Eric, what's going on, man?
Man, living the dream. How you doing?
I'm doing great, dude. All right, so let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
First off-season where you're not doing rookie stuff. You didn't have a combine to get ready for, worried about the draft. You're actually here all off-season getting ready. What was your goals? What was your focus in terms of where you wanted to try to get better?
My goals this year, you know, is just to take that time to, you know, first take a break. You know, get some time off, have some fun with the family. But, you know, just getting ready for the year, like getting ready mentally. Really, my biggest thing has been this offseason is getting ready mentally. You know, because your mental drives your physical for me. So I've just been doing that for some time now.
Yeah, and I think it's underrated how much goes into the running back position, especially in this offense from a mental perspective. So specifically, what was some of the mental stuff for your position that you were trying to lock in on?
For me, you know, it was just wanting to go out there and not let anyone stop me from, you know, being me. You know, not letting anyone stop me from being great. You know, whatever that looks like. That's what I've been doing, just saying, like, no one's going to stop me from being me. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to show, you know, who Eric Gray is, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me from doing that.
I know a big challenge for running backs early in their career is always the pass protection part of the game. That's how you get on the field. We know you can catch the ball in college, right? Receiving. But when you get on the field to receive the ball, they got to be able to trust you to protect the quarterback.
Most definitely.
How did that come along for you as a rookie?
You know, you see it. It's just about, you see, once you get in there, it's really about your base, about your technique. That's what I want to get to, about your technique. Once you have your technique down, then it's just a battle from there. You know, you see a lot of guys that want to do it, but they just have to get the technique right, and that's kind of what I learned.
I talked to the wide receivers about how complicated this offense is, and they got to run, you know, one word, they got to know their route, what the adjustments are, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing for the running back position?
It's a little different for them because they got to know, like you said, they got to know routes, they got to know motions, they got to know shifts, they got to know all of that. So we got a little teeter part of it, but we got to know protections as well. So we got to know the runs, the pass, and the protection. So we got a little bit more.
One thing I noticed that, and maybe you guys were doing this in walkthrough last year, and we just weren't out there for it, but during OTAs, the running backs get with the tight ends, get with the quarterback, get with the offensive line. You guys are making calls, and you're making sure everyone's picking up the right guys. How has it been working with Carmen Brasillo, the offensive line, and trying to kind of get all that together with what the protection scheme is going to be like this year?
You know, this whole new offensive staff that came in and done a great job of making sure, you know, the things that we kind of needed help with last year, that we addressed it first in OTAs, like you said. So going out there, making calls, making sure everyone's on the same page, seeing it through the same lens is what everybody's been trying to do.
Last year, you had a chance on special teams, right? And it probably didn't go as well as you would have liked.
Right.
Confidence-wise, did that take a while for you to deal with? Were you okay with it in terms of trying to bounce back from some of those struggles?
Yeah, I don't think confidence was ever my problem. You know, just in my life, I don't think confidence was ever my problem. It was just, you know, it was a new thing. It was a new thing.
Sure.
It was a new thing being out there. But I felt like I feel like I did pretty well. Didn't do a terrible job. It was just new.
So sometimes one play here or there, and that's all people remember.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. It's just new. It was just a new idea, but you know, I'm ready to go this year though, for sure.
Oh, you really?
For sure.
What do you think of the running back room? You have Devin Singletary in there now. Nice vet motor. What has it been like working with him?
It's been a great job. You know, like you said, he's a vet. He's played this game for a long time. You know, he's kind of like the vet in the room. You know, he's got a lot of insight on different plays. He's been in this system as well at Buffalo. So he's got a lot of insight on how things go.
And Tyrone Tracy, I've heard he's picked up stuff pretty quick, right?
Yeah. T's been doing a great job of coming in, like you said, picking things up quick. He's been a great addition.
What are your goals for yourself this year?
Like I said, just being me. You know what I'm saying? Not letting anybody change me. Going out there and showing who Eric Gray is.
Well, we can't wait to see it, Eric. Thanks for
the
time, man.
Thank you.
You're ready for a change. Payday comes early with Citizens, so go to that retreat. New you moves to the country. Now you're raising goats and launching a lifestyle brand. Are you ready for all that life brings?
Football is coming, and so is the next college semester. If you need funding, a Citizens student loan could help you pay for 100% of your school certified cost. Get your rate quote in about 2 minutes at citizensbank.com/payforcollege. All right, and now we're joined by Giants running back Dante Turbo Miller. Turbo, what's going on, man? How are you?
Not much, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. You have one of the most interesting stories of coming into the NFL as any player out there. How did that help, like kind of mature you as a person and just make you mentally tough, having to deal with all the twists and turns of NCAA eligibility, which is always something that nobody can really figure out, to be quite honest with you.
it really taught me how to be patient. If you want something in life, sometimes you have to be patient for it and continue to do the right things to get there. And I feel like my situation is a testament that if you continue to do the right thing over and over and over, good things will happen. So, you know, no matter what happened to me with my eligibility situation, I never got tired of doing what's right, and I am where I am now.
So you weren't in the draft process really, but was that?
I was in the draft process.
Well, you was in the draft process, right? But then you kind of, in the end, you had a chance to pick where you wanted to go. It's pretty unique. So was that in some ways a good thing where you got to kind of pick where you wanted to go rather than being forced somewhere?
It's a great thing, because, this is a team I've always wanted to play for, or have the opportunity to play for. I've loved the Giants since I was at Columbia. My situation coming into the draft, I didn't know that I wasn't draft eligible until a couple weeks before the draft.
Right.
And when I was initially coming here, it was just for workout interviews and all that whatnot. So my agent reached out to the league office, and the league office found out, he should have been in last year's draft. It's unfortunate about the eligibility situation, but hey, this is where we are. So, I ended up signing here, and it's a great thing because, it's a place I want to be.
Talk about your experience in the Ivy League.
Right.
It's not a ton of Ivy guys get into the pros. You obviously ended up transferring and all that stuff to try to get you a better chance to get in.
Yeah.
Talk about your love for the Giants and kind of how that grew while you were at Columbia.
Man, so my family's actually from New York. So even while I was at Columbia, I was already a Giants fan prior to that. So,
Where in New York?
Brooklyn, New York. Yeah.
Where in Brooklyn?
East New York, near Barbie Street, Jerome Street.
Midwood. I went to Midwood High School.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
very good.
So I had the roots kind of from there already, right? And, I was a Giants fan since they had, Ahmad, Bradshaw, all those guys, you know? So it was it's unspeakable, man, having this opportunity to be here right now and represent this team, represent this city. So even when I was at Columbia, I already knew, this is really the closest team. The Jets were the Jets, but the Giants were the team of New York. So it's nice being here.
All right, tell Giant fans what you think you can bring to the field this year when you get a chance to play.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I bring explosive plays. I make big time plays, and that's always been the name of my game since I was in high school and throughout college. So when you see me, you can expect big plays and electrifying playing field.
You excited to try to do this new kick return thing that's going on?
It's great. It's gonna be a lot of big opportunities for all the returners on the team, and I can't wait to have an opportunity to do whatever I do.
How do you approach that? Do you approach it like a running play now? Is it the way the guys are kind of closer together? You can kind of block it up a specific way. Is it?
Mm-hmm. So I feel like every return, even before the rule, you can essentially say it's like a running play, like outside zone, inside zone. But now it's even more of a factor on game plan. So it depends what your your special team coordinator wants to do. So some coordinators might want to run it like a reverse, some might want to run like inside zone, outside zone. It depends on what they want to do. It's game plan.
Turbo, this is great, man. Appreciate the time, dude. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You love turf. You're good at it. So you start a turf biz. Business grows, your savings grow. Become the most celebrated name in turf. Are you ready for all that life brings?
All right, and now we're joined by Giants rookie running back and former host of the Tyrone Tracy Show, Tyrone Tracy Jr. Tyrone, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good. Appreciate you having me.
No problem. So I had a chance to talk to your head coach and your position coach. It's going to air on our Giants Huddle podcast, folks. Go check that out if you're listening to this right now. And they spoke glowingly about you as a player and how you attacked the position change from wide receiver to running back, and specifically figured out the pass protection part of it.
Yeah.
Because as you well know, you think wide receiver goes to running back. Are they going to want to embrace the physicality of pass protection? How are you able to kind of pick that up so quickly in college with that position switch so late in your career and just figure out the nuances of the position?
It just took time. Time always tell. When you're doing something new, you have to put the time in to reap the rewards. So I would stay late, come in early, understand that I have to watch more film, understanding, that this is a different position that I'm playing. You can't have the same physicality as a receiver in the running back position. You have to kind of change your mindset for it, and that's what I did. I go and talk to my running back coach and my head coach, about the position and understanding what I had to do to make sure that I'm successful.
That's interesting. Was part of you excited to move to running back? Because you played running back in high school, I know, and I know that was a part of your past, and you were really running over 1,000 yards in your final year in high school. You did a really good job running the ball. And then, you go to Iowa, they turn you into a receiver. Iowa has a great program. Well, the one thing we know about Iowa, they don't throw the ball.
Yeah, they don't throw it. They don't throw it a lot.
Much. Charlie Jones went through the same thing, right? He was there. He ended up leaving. He ends up blowing up at Purdue. He ends up getting drafted and everything. So was part of you excited to move to running back, or did it take a lot of convincing?
It was a little bit of both, I will say, because it was a lot of uncertainty with it, just because I didn't know, if they was moving me because they actually thought I could be a good running back, or was they moving me because they just knew that they wasn't going to throw me the ball, they just wanted me out of the way. So I had to go in, had to have some hard conversations with, my position coach, my head coach, our offensive coordinator, like, had to really, talk to myself and understand that, if I'm going to do this, I might as well, give it 110%. But they really reassured me that, they was moving me because they actually believed in me. They knew the capabilities and the skills that I've had, and that I possessed, but they just kind of trusted me, and allowed me to go out there and be myself on the football field.
Yeah, and I think we saw the production, we saw the effectiveness, but I think you would even say this too, when you watch yourself playing running back. Was there a rawness there when you watch yourself where, like, it was like trying to get back on a bike and ride it for the first time in 5 years, but you had a bit on the bike?
Nah, it was actually like pretty natural. Just because, again, I've played it my whole life. It was actually harder going from running back to receiver than it was going back to running back from receiver. Right. Just because, again, like I said, I played it my whole life. So when you're back in that position, you're back in that mode of just doing something that you've already done, but no longer like trying to be that running back. You just be yourself. Be what you was before.
That's what was natural for you.
Yes. And when I got back in the backfield, they handed me the ball. It's no different than catching the ball, 15 yards down the field and running. It's no different. It's just faster reaction times. You have to see different holes. But for the main part, I've always ran with physicality. I've always ran hard. I've always blocked really well, even at Iowa. So, when I was at Purdue and they started handing me the ball out of the backfield, it was no different.
Yeah, your coach said the one thing they saw from your Iowa tape is that a wide receiver, you blocked. Like, you blocked. There was no question about that.
I did.
I love your running style, though, man. You were kind of like a Tasmanian devil. Like, you would get in the open field, you lean into guys, you bounce, you go left, you spin back to your right. Is that always the way you kind of ran the ball to kind of – because you have such good you almost look out of control, but I know you're not because your contact balance is so good and you always stay on your feet.
Yeah. I've always something I've always had in my bag was my contact balance, just understanding weight distribution, understanding like, okay, if I'm getting hit from over here, I got to put a little bit more weight, on the other side, so just so I can stay up on my feet. And then another thing is like I'm always trying to set the defender up.
Right. It
may look like I'm out of control. From off the top of my memory, I had a run the Northwestern game up the middle. I tried the defender's coming from my left, so I kind of stuck. Looked like I tripped a little bit, but I was actually setting him up to do a spin move off of him, going back to the left. So
you love the spin move.
Yeah. Now the spin move was actually a go-to.
I love the spin move.
And honestly, it's not like something that I think about doing. It's honestly just something natural. It just comes at the time of the moment.
No, absolutely, I'm with you. So you talk about the willingness to block and pick it up. NFL is a whole other thing with pass protection.
Yes.
And one thing that, and I've mentioned this with a couple of the guys, including Theo Johnson, they bring the tight ends and the running backs and the quarterback in with the offensive line in some of the pass protection drills during the OTA sessions, right? What has that been like with you working with Daves, with Kafka, with Carmen Brasillo, the offensive line coach, learning the protection rules to making sure you are, in fact, not, the physical part of it you can do, but making sure your eyes are where they need to be based on how the defense is lined up.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. That's huge just because when you're out there, you want the running backs, quarterback, the O-line, tight ends, we all have to be looking at with the same set of eyes. So, there's no way for us to be successful if we're all looking at different things and looking at it different ways. So we all have to be looking at things with one set of eyes and calling it one way. Everything it has to happen every single time, every single play. So when we're doing this during the OTAs, for me, it helps a lot just because it's one thing to look at it on paper, but then it's another thing to go out and do it on the field and then actually put action to the words and say, okay, when we call this is how it's supposed to look. This is how it's supposed to be blocked. So I like doing things hands-on. I like doing things doing the walkthrough pace and understanding the little details about it.
How does your work at wide receiver help translate to running back and help you in the passing game there?
Oh, it helped tremendously just because, in this league, you have to be able to catch the ball. You're not going to be able to stay in this league long, if you're not, a good pass catcher out of the backfield. But I think the Giants understand this as well. I can run routes, from the slot. I can run routes from outside, X or Z. My brain is to a point where you can tell me to do things from a different position. I will remember it. I'm kind of like I'm in their box of a person who can just do a lot of different things.
Sure.
So it helps me a lot right now. Where I'm at.
That's awesome. When you take a look at special teams, I see your body type and your athleticism, and it just screams to me kickoff returner. Especially with the new rules.
Yeah.
And it's something that you did well in college as well. Is that something that you're excited to get a crack at?
Listen, I'm in Coach Gobe's ear every day. Every day, try to tell him, man, let me kick off return. And we do it in practice and stuff like that. So like, I'm doing good. I'm getting good reps, and it's just over time. I'm a rookie, so I'm still, making sure that I'm doing every single thing the right way, making sure that I'm putting good stuff on film. For the coaches to be like, okay, this is why we should put him back there instead of me just saying put me back there. But yeah, to say the least, I'm super excited about this role and about the opportunity ahead of me.
What do you think about the new rule? Do you think that's advantage returner, advantage coverage teams? How do you think that's going to impact the play in general?
I would say it's an advantage football, to be honest.
Oh, I agree. I love the rule.
Like it's something that's going to bring life back to kickoff return. When you're looking at it, for the past 2 years, all the kickers, they're literally kicking it through the end zone. So there's no return, there's no excitement, no nothing. So now you have the opportunity to put good stuff on film from kickoff returner, from the blockers, from the kickoff team. Like, everyone has the opportunity to put good stuff on film. Even the kicker, your placement, kickoff placement. So like, when you're just kicking the ball through the uprights, there's no opportunity to put things on film, from a player standpoint.
The more you can see the best athletes with the ball in their hands, the better I think all of us are. I'm with you 100%. All right, I know you're focused on football. This is not something you're doing now, but tell the folks about the Tyrone Tracy Jr. show at Purdue. What was it about?
I mean, hey, Tyrone Tracy Jr. show, it was about everything. It's about good laughs, just spreading good energy. What
did you do?
We did everything. We did everything from interviews, from asking brain teaser questions to players. I interviewed some of the coaches, asking them some questions.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm looking forward, after I get my feet wet here and getting everything settled, I'm looking forward to bringing it to the Giants as well.
Well, we're you guys, man. Whenever you want to do anything, we're here for you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Thanks, Tyrone. Appreciate it, man. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great job from the running backs there. Good combination of vets, young guys, fast players, guys with a lot of promise, a good group. Looking forward to see them get on the field and really get into some game situations as we get into August. I'm John Schmeelk. Thanks for joining us on the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the Giants. We'll see you next time, everybody.